Sidney Poitier once said, when you take a walk with someone, something unspoken happens. Either they adjust to your pace or you adjust to theirs. There's also the old proverb that says, whoever walks with the wise will become wise, but a companion of fools will suffer harm. All that to say that we need to hang out with people that fit our future and not our history. John Wooden once said, you will never outperform your inner circle. And so today, we are going to talk about the power of the inner circle, why it's important, and why we need to focus on having the right people around us. So why is having the right people around you important? First off, a supportive inner circle significantly impacts our success. Research shows that positive, encouraging relationships can boost confidence, perseverance, leading to higher achievement levels. Next is our inner circle can influence our behaviors, our habits, and our attitudes. The people that you're around the most, they have a direct effect on the way you behave, and they have a direct effect on your mindset. This is the importance of making sure that you are not just allowing anyone in your space. Another reason having a strong inner circle is important is because it leads to better networking and opportunities. There are several of us that have received jobs, that have received connections, that have received hookups with people that could propel us forward. And it was all based on us having a prior relationship with someone who was able to connect the dots for us. And so this is also the importance of having a diverse inner circle. If everyone in your inner circle looks like you, if everyone in your inner circle acts just like you need to branch out. When we're talking about a diverse inner circle, we're talking about a group that has varied backgrounds, that has varied skills, and that has varied perspectives. Varied perspectives is extremely helpful because you are able to see things from a point of view that you normally would not see things in. And this is the importance of having different people around you and having that diverse inner circle. Another reason having the right people around you is important is because you want a group that believes in you even at times when you do not believe in yourself. If you have a group that is about growth, if you have an inner circle that is about development, if you have an inner circle that knows your strengths, knows your weaknesses, number one, they can encourage your strengths and they can remind you of why you're doing what you're doing. But number two, they can also challenge your weaknesses and bring the best out of you. Allowing our inner circle to include toxic relationships, to include a lack of encouragement, to include exposure to pessimistic energies will have a negative effect on our personal growth journey. And a lot of times we think, well, I'm stronger than that. I can be around them and not be affected by them. I hear you. But you might have the approach of wanting to save them or wanting to influence them. But the truth is that if you're around a big group of negativity, it's more likely that that group of negativity is going to influence you as opposed to you influencing that group. Now, can you change the group? Maybe. But why do you want to invest that much energy when at the end of the day, all of us are in charge of our own growth journeys, and it's not your job to save people? Now, when it comes to dream thieves, there are some people that are experiencing a deep hurt. And because they're experiencing a deep hurt, they naturally see everything through the eyes of pessimism. These are people in your life who you genuinely think they might even mean well, but everything they say comes out in a negative way. And while you might love them, you still want to be very protective about who you allow in your inner circle and who you allow in your space. One of the things that I've noticed about dream thieves is some people, they'll speak into your life, not from a place of truth, but they'll speak into your life from a place of their insecurities. Even well-meaning people will assassinate the dream within you if you allow them to have access to it. And this is the importance of being very protective of your goals, being very protective of your dreams and your aspirations. Do not be the blabbermouth that just gets excited and wants to tell everyone about what you're doing. Sometimes you just need to move in silence. Now, I'm a strong believer in success teams. Success teams are vital. They are vital to your success. They are vital to my success. One of the things that we need to establish up front is the simple fact that, believe it or not, we get to choose our circle. You say, nah, I don't get to choose them. I work with these people. You get to choose who you allow into the intimate spaces. You get to choose who you allow into your dreams. You get to choose who you allow into knowing who you really are and into knowing your aspirations. I once heard that your truth determines the people you attract. Your truth determines the people you attract and those that are actually within your inner circle. If you're not attracting the right people, you have to examine the truth that you are sharing, the truth that you are displaying. And if you want a different circle around you, you have to make sure that you are presenting yourself in a way that you are attracting the people that are trying to push their life forward and are trying to elevate, as opposed to attracting the people that don't want to do anything and that are perfectly content with where they're at in their lives. Now, when it comes to your inner circle and when it comes to the people that you allow access into the intimate spaces of your brain and of your life, one of the things that we need to realize is that no one can remain in our life without our consent. So if you have people who are around you who are not pushing forward, we need to know we've allowed them to be there. We have given them permission to be in this space. And I think it is perfectly healthy to assess relationships, periodically assess relationships. I like to say that each person that comes into our life has an assigned seat. Whether you know it or not, there is a role that each person that you have allowed in your life is playing for you. There's a reason that they're there. Conversely, there's also a role that you are playing for each and every person in your life. And so it's very important that we assess relationships. Compartmentalizing relationships isn't a bad idea. It's also important to remember in our assessment of the relationships that people evolve and people change. With that, don't force them into what they used to be in your brain. Don't allow yourself to hold on to who someone was at the detriment of respecting who they are now. Give them the space. Give them the space to evolve. And as they're evolving, you also are evolving. So you can decide whether or not this relationship that once served you in that season is currently going to serve you in your current season, or if it's going to serve you in the next season. Another thing to consider when it comes to your inner circle is be very selective about who you allow to speak to which area. I love what Brittany Turner said. She said, I only take advice from those that are successful in an area that I want to be a success in. This is going to eliminate a lot of extra voices in your life. So if someone's an excellent businessman, they're a successful businessman, I'll take their advice on business. However, that businessman might have a terrible marriage. So just because you're a success in one area does not qualify you to speak to success in every area. And when it comes to the voices and what we're allowing to be spoken to into our lives, it's very important that we are selective with the advice that we are receiving. Another thing that I've noticed and another thing that we are challenged with is sometimes we hold on to relationships that are past its expiration date because we've known someone for a very long time. Don't hold on to negative relationships just because you've known someone for a very long time. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to eliminate the relationship, but as I said, there are assigned seats. So maybe we do not allow the people that are extremely negative to have that access to our inner dreams and to our inner thoughts. Another thought, when it comes to selective advice and selecting the advice that we are hearing, is we need to make sure that we do not develop a dependency on our inner circle. They are a addition, but they are not the whole thing. They're a cherry on top. So with that, while you take in the advice, or you may ask for the advice from your inner circle, we need to make sure that we are not overly depending on it and navigating ourselves to the point where we can't even make a decision without talking to someone in our inner circle. Their advice is a piece that allows us to have a different perspective, but at the end of the day, you are the captain of your own ship, and you need to make sure that you are making the decisions that fit right for you, and you need to have the confidence that you're able to make that decision even if everyone else left you. Now, sometimes you have the inner circle that you need for this current season, but there's still issues. There's still little inconveniences. There's still little arguments at times. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have the wrong inner circle, but it might mean that we need to figure out how we can best navigate that inner circle. One of the things that you want to do is you want to encourage open and honest communication within the inner circle. We don't know what we don't know. And every single person, you included, me included, we have blind spots. And there's certain things that we do that we don't even know. And if we have an inner circle that does not allow for open and honest communication, we are going to do some things that are bothering the people in our inner circle, or that might even be hurting the people in our inner circle without us intentionally wanting to do so. So this is the importance of you setting the relationship in a way of, hey, let's be honest. Let's encourage one another. I'm going to tell you when you're doing something that doesn't best serve you or the relationship. And I give you the permission to do the same thing for me, because I'm not perfect either. Before any relationship is eliminated, I believe that they all deserve that chance to say, hey, this keeps happening. We don't need this to happen anymore. What can we do to fix it? And then be given the time to fix it. And then again, evaluate and adjust relationships as needed. One of the things that I had to learn, and I had to learn the hard way, is that people cannot give you what they cannot give themselves. Don't put a demand on a relationship that is beyond the capacity of said relationship. I spent many years of my life trying to force someone to be a certain way, trying to force someone to give me something that they didn't have. They didn't have it for themselves. And they will never be able to give you what they cannot give themselves. Now, when it comes to disagreements within the inner circle, there's a difference between someone who is toxic and someone who disagrees with you. If they just disagree with you, it's okay. And not only is it okay, you should probably listen to what they're saying, because again, that different perspective is helpful. That different perspective allows you to see things from a broader scope. It is the responsibility of a friend to tell you when they disagree. It's the responsibility of a friend to have that open communication. And like I said, if you want to go to the next level, the people around you need to be given the permission to openly discuss whatever it is when it comes to their feelings or your actions. Whenever it comes to the fact that someone cannot be trusted, it's important that you create boundaries. Boundaries must be expressed. Boundaries cannot be in your head. They cannot be boundaries that you just created in your brain. They actually have to be expressed. And you want balance. You want boundaries that allow you to maintain a healthy balance between support and independence. Now, when it comes to boundaries, if we do not express them, we cannot complain about the actions that those in our inner circle are taking. You cannot complain about a circumstance that you created or that you've allowed to exist. You're the captain of your own ship. You're in control here. Set boundaries. Have conversations that allow you to elaborate on what those boundaries entail and why you arrived to those boundaries. But again, you're in charge. As I close, I want to encourage you to surround yourself with people you love. Surround yourself with people you love. I'm a firm believer that part of self-love is having a higher standard for your inner circle. And there have been times, and I know I can speak for my own life, there have been times where the actual size of the circle has decreased, but the value has increased. And you're only given so many days on earth. You're trying to make an impact. You're trying to be the best you. And so you need people around you that are supportive. You need people around you that will challenge you. And you need people around you that are trying to grow and develop themselves so that you can be for them what they are for you. Always remember, growth is a journey. It's not a destination. I'm in it with you. On to the next.